WWE is covering up a medical disaster that could end Nikki Bella's life. What happened to the former Divas champion during her Raw return wasn't just a wrestling injury, it was a catastrophic medical emergency that WWE is desperately trying to hide from the public. And their cover-up could cost Nikki her health, her career, and potentially her life. This isn't about wrestling storylines, this is about WWE's systematic endangerment of their performers and their willingness to cover up serious medical complications to protect their corporate image. The evidence we've uncovered will shock you and expose WWE's complete disregard for wrestlers' safety. What we're about to reveal goes beyond sports entertainment into actual medical malpractice, corporate negligence, and the systematic cover-up of life-threatening injuries. WWE's silence isn't protecting Nikki, it's protecting themselves from massive legal liability. The medical emergency exposed during Nikki Bella's highly anticipated return match on Raw, what fans witnessed as a routine injury, was actually a catastrophic medical complication that required immediate emergency intervention. WWE's medical team knew within seconds that this was life-threatening. The injury was immediately classified as a medical emergency, revealed a source inside WWE's medical department. This wasn't a wrestling injury, this was a serious medical complication that required specialized surgical intervention. Video analysis of the incident shows WWE's medical team responding with unusual urgency and calling for equipment not typically used for standard wrestling injuries. The response pattern indicates they knew this was far more serious than they've admitted. The cover-up begins within minutes of the incident. WWE's crisis management team swung into action with a coordinated cover-up designed to minimize the apparent severity of Nikki's condition. Social media posts, press releases, and medical statements were all carefully crafted to hide the truth. The cover-up was immediate and comprehensive, revealed a corporate insider. They had lawyers, PR specialists, and medical consultants all working to control the narrative before anyone could investigate what really happened. WWE's response was so swift and coordinated that it proves they had contingency plans ready for exactly this type of medical emergency. They knew this could happen and prepared to hide it. The medical malpractice. Our investigation reveals that WWE's medical staff may have committed serious malpractice by clearing Nikki for competition despite knowing about potential complications related to her previous medical procedures. WWE's doctors knew there were risks but cleared her anyway, revealed a medical source. They prioritized the company's return storyline over patient safety. Medical experts who reviewed the available evidence suggest that proper medical protocols would have prevented Nikki from competing until additional safety measures were implemented. The insurance conspiracy. Even more disturbing is evidence that WWE is manipulating their insurance claims to hide the true nature and cost of Nikki's medical treatment. They're systematically lying to avoid massive liability payouts. WWE is reporting this as a minor wrestling injury when the actual medical costs are in the hundreds of thousands, revealed an insurance industry source. They're committing insurance fraud to hide their negligence. The systematic misrepresentation of medical facts to insurance companies represents criminal fraud that could result in federal charges. The hospital politics. The hospital where Nikki received treatment has been pressured by WWE's legal team to limit information about her condition and treatment. Medical professionals are being silenced to protect WWE's liability. Hospital staff were threatened with legal action if they discussed the patient's actual condition, revealed a healthcare worker. WWE's lawyers are controlling what medical information can be disclosed. This level of medical information suppression violates patient care standards and potentially endangers Nikki's ongoing treatment. The specialist consultation. Multiple medical specialists were secretly consulted about Nikki's condition, but their expert opinions are being suppressed because they contradict WWE's official narrative about the injury's severity. The specialists all agreed that this was a serious medical emergency requiring immediate intervention, revealed a medical consultant. But WWE doesn't want that information public because it proves their negligence. The suppression of expert medical opinions to protect corporate interests represents a massive violation of healthcare ethics. The family pressure. Nikki's family members are reportedly being pressured by WWE to remain silent about her actual condition and the circumstances surrounding her injury. The company is using personal relationships to maintain their cover-up. WWE is pressuring family members to stay quiet about what they witnessed, revealed a source close to the Bella family. They're using emotional manipulation to control the narrative. The systematic pressure on family members represents witness intimidation designed to prevent the truth from emerging. The medical community outrage. Healthcare professionals who have learned about WWE's handling of Nikki's situation are outraged by the apparent violations of medical ethics and patient care standards. WWE's interference in medical decision-making violates every principle of healthcare ethics, declared a medical ethics expert. They're putting corporate interests above patient welfare. The medical community's response indicates that WWE's actions go far beyond standard corporate damage control into actual malpractice territory. The legal implications. Legal experts suggest that WWE faces massive liability for their handling of Nikki's medical emergency and the subsequent cover-up attempt. The potential damages could reach hundreds of millions. WWE's systematic cover-up of a medical emergency creates enormous legal liability, explained a medical malpractice attorney. They're facing potential criminal and civil charges. The legal ramifications extend beyond civil liability into potential criminal charges for medical fraud and witness intimidation. The safety protocol failures. Our investigation reveals systematic failures in WWE's safety protocols that directly contributed to Nikki's medical emergency. The company ignored known risks to prioritize entertainment value. WWE's safety protocols are completely inadequate for performers with previous medical procedures, revealed a sports medicine expert. They're prioritizing storylines over performer safety. The systematic safety failures indicate that WWE's medical protocols are designed to protect the company rather than the performers. The corporate negligence evidence suggests that WWE executives were aware of potential medical risks but chose to proceed with Nikki's return anyway to capitalize on fan interest and storyline opportunities. Management knew there were risks but decided the storyline value outweighed safety concerns, revealed a corporate source. They gambled with Nikki's health for entertainment purposes. This level of conscious disregard for performer safety represents gross negligence that could result in criminal charges. The media manipulation. WWE's media manipulation extends beyond their own platforms to influencing mainstream news coverage of Nikki's condition. They're actively working to suppress accurate reporting. WWE is providing misleading information to news outlets to control public perception, revealed a journalism source. They're manipulating media coverage to hide the truth. The systematic manipulation of news coverage represents a coordinated effort to deceive the public about serious medical complications. The medical record suppression. Most disturbing is evidence that WWE is actively suppressing Nikki's medical records to prevent independent medical experts from analyzing her condition and treatment. WWE has legal control over medical information that should be available for independent review, revealed a medical records expert. They're preventing proper medical oversight. The suppression of medical records violates standard healthcare transparency requirements and prevents proper medical evaluation. The performer exploitation. Nikki's situation represents the systematic exploitation of WWE performers who are pressured to risk their health for corporate entertainment and profit. WWE treats performers as disposable assets rather than human beings with medical needs, observed a performer rights advocate. Nikki's situation proves they don't care about wrestler welfare. The systematic exploitation of performers for corporate profit represents a fundamental violation of workplace safety standards. The insurance investigation. Insurance companies are reportedly launching investigations into WWE's medical claims following suspicious patterns in their reporting of performer injuries and treatment costs. WWE's insurance claims don't match the actual medical evidence, revealed an insurance investigator. There are clear patterns of misrepresentation. The insurance investigations could expose systematic fraud that goes far beyond Nikki's individual case. The regulatory scrutiny. Athletic commissions and medical regulatory boards are beginning to scrutinize WWE's medical practices following reports of systematic safety violations in Cover UPS. WWE's medical practices are being reviewed by multiple regulatory agencies, revealed a regulatory official. There are serious questions about their compliance with safety standards. The regulatory scrutiny could result in sanctions, fines, and requirements for improved safety protocols. The international implications. WWE's handling of Nikki's medical emergency is being scrutinized by international regulatory bodies as an example of American sports entertainment's inadequate safety standards. International regulators are using WWE's practices as an example of what not to do, noted a global sports official. This is damaging America's reputation in international sports. The international scrutiny could affect WWE's ability to operate globally and damages American sports entertainment's reputation. The medical technology concerns. The specific nature of Nikki's medical complications raises broader questions about the compatibility of certain medical procedures with professional wrestling activities. There need to be specific protocols for performers with previous medical procedures, explained a sports medicine researcher. WWE's one-size-fits-all approach is inadequate. The medical technology implications extend beyond WWE to affect safety standards across all physical entertainment industries. The long-term health risks. Medical experts warn that WWE's inadequate handling of Nikki's condition could result in long-term health complications that may not manifest for years. Improper treatment of these types of medical complications can cause serious long-term problems, warned a medical specialist. WWE's cover-up may be hiding ongoing health risks. The potential for long-term health consequences makes WWE's cover-up even more dangerous and morally reprehensible. The family impact. Nikki's medical emergency and WWE's subsequent cover-up have created enormous stress and anxiety for her family members who are being pressured to remain silent. Family members are being torn between supporting Nikki and protecting themselves from WWE's legal threats, revealed a family source. The emotional toll is enormous. WWE's pressure tactics against family members represent emotional abuse designed to maintain their corporate cover-up. The medical ethics violations healthcare professionals involved in Nikki's treatment are facing ethical dilemmas as WWE's interference conflicts with standard medical care protocols. Medical professionals are being forced to choose between patient care and corporate interests, observed a medical ethics expert. WWE's interference violates fundamental healthcare principles. The systematic violation of medical ethics puts healthcare providers in impossible positions and compromises patient care. The corporate responsibility WWE's handling of Nikki's medical emergency represents a complete failure of corporate responsibility toward employee health and safety. WWE has proven they care more about corporate image than employee welfare, noted a corporate responsibility expert. This is a textbook case of corporate negligence. The systematic failure of corporate responsibility could result in fundamental changes to how sports entertainment companies are regulated. The public health implications WWE's cover-up of medical complications sends dangerous messages about the importance of proper medical care and transparency in sports entertainment. WWE's cover-up undermines public confidence in sports medicine and emergency medical care, warned a public health official. Their actions have broader implications beyond wrestling. The public health implications of WWE's medical cover-up extend far beyond their own industry into broader healthcare credibility. The legal precedent Nikki's case could set important legal precedents for how sports entertainment companies handle performer medical emergencies and safety protocols. This case could fundamentally change legal standards for performer safety in entertainment industries, explained a sports law expert. The precedent could affect the entire industry. The legal implications extend beyond WWE to potentially transform safety standards across all physical entertainment industries. The Truth Movement wrestling fans and medical advocates are demanding transparency about Nikki's actual condition and WWE's handling of her medical emergency. Fans deserve to know the truth about performer safety, declared a fan advocacy leader. WWE's cover-up is unacceptable and dangerous. The Truth Movement represents growing public demand for accountability in sports entertainment medical practices. The medical reform necessity Nikki's situation demonstrates the urgent need for comprehensive medical reform in professional wrestling and sports entertainment. The entire industry needs new safety standards and medical protocols, argued a sports medicine reformer. WWE's failures prove the current system is inadequate. The need for medical reform extends beyond WWE to encompass the entire sports entertainment industry's approach to performer safety. The corporate accountability WWE must be held accountable for their systematic endangerment of performers and their cover-up of serious medical complications. WWE's actions represent gross corporate negligence that demands legal consequences, declared a corporate accountability advocate. They cannot be allowed to hide behind lawyers and PR firms. The demand for corporate accountability represents a broader movement for justice in sports entertainment employment practices. The ultimate betrayal WWE's cover-up of Nikki's medical emergency represents the ultimate betrayal of trust between performer and company. They're prioritizing corporate interests over human health. This isn't about wrestling storylines or entertainment value, this is about basic human decency and the responsibility companies have toward their employees' health and safety. The call for action: wrestling fans must demand transparency about Nikki Bella's actual medical condition and WWE's handling of her emergency. This level of medical cover-up cannot be tolerated. Share this video, demand medical transparency, and hold WWE accountable for their systematic endangerment of performers. Nikki deserves proper medical care without corporate interference. Support medical reform in sports entertainment. Demand safety protocols that protect performers rather than corporate profits. The truth revealed: Nikki Bella's medical emergency wasn't just a wrestling injury, it was a catastrophic medical complication that WWE is desperately trying to hide through systematic cover-up and media manipulation. The evidence proves that WWE prioritizes corporate image over performer health, systematically violates medical ethics, and commits potential fraud to avoid liability for their negligence. This is WrestlingNewsCC, where we demand medical transparency and performer safety. Nikki Bella deserves proper medical care without corporate interference or cover-up. WWE's systematic endangerment of performers must end. The wrestling world must demand accountability for medical negligence and corporate cover-ups. Demand medical transparency. Protect performer safety. Hold WWE accountable.